Form A and B. Authorized candidate of a political party. Disclaimer: this training material is for use in training of election officials. It should not be referred as guideline of ECI. In case of any variance in this training material, the ECI guideline, rules, laws shall prevail. In this educational video, we will learn about the Form A and Form B, which are the notices issued by the political parties regarding the authorized candidate of the party. So what is Form A? Form A is intimation from a recognized political party or a registered but unrecognized political party to the returning officer of the constituency and to the CEO of the state, conveying the names of office bearer of the party who have been authorized to intimate the names of the candidates chosen by the party to contest the polls. This intimation must come from either the president or the secretary of the political party. The form also contains a specimen signature of the office bearers who have been authorized by the party to distribute tickets, that is Form B. These have to be signed in ink and must carry the party seal. No facsimile signature or signature by means of rubber stamp, etc. of any office bearer shall be accepted. Format of Form A is displayed on the screen. What is Form B? Form B is an intimation from the authorized office bearer of a political party whose name is mentioned in Form A issued by the president or the secretary of the party to the returning officer of the constituency. This letter informs the RO about the name of the authorized candidate for the party who should be allotted the party symbol. The letter also contains a substitute name for allotment of the symbol and candidature in case the nomination of the primary candidate is rejected during the scrutiny. Format of the Form B is shown on the screen. Again, the table of the Form B is displayed on the screen. Form A and B should bear original signature of authorized office bearer of the political party concerned. Email, fax copies, etc. of such forms are not acceptable. Photocopy of Form B submitted for the main candidate can be used for the substitute candidate. It is the responsibility of the party or candidate concerned to submit the Form A to CEO and Form A and B to the returning officer. It is not the responsibility of the CEO to forward Form A to returning officers. Form A and B to be filed latest by 3 p.m. on the last date of filing of nomination. Both Form A and B to be submitted to the RO. Form A and Form B to be signed in ink in original. Fax copy, email, photocopy are not acceptable. Unless and until both the two Forms A and B are submitted to the returning officer as per the requirements of symbol order, the candidate concerned shall not be treated as candidate set up by the party. Nomination paper filed by a candidate claiming to have been set up by a recognized national or state party subscribed by only one elector as proposer will be rejected if notice in Form A and Form B from that party has not been delivered in due time. If a candidate has filed more than one but not more than 4 nomination papers, some as candidate of recognized political party and the other as candidate of unrecognized political party or as an independent candidate. In case the nomination paper filed as a candidate of a recognized political party is rejected on the ground of the non-receipt of Form A and B by 3 p.m. on the last date for filing of nomination from the concerned recognized political party, any or all other nomination papers will be accepted if the same are proposed by 10 electors and are otherwise found valid on scrutiny. In such a case, the candidate would be deemed to be candidate set up by an unrecognized party if the requirements by the nomination paper is fulfilled and such party has sent notices in Form A and B by 3 p.m. on the last date of filing of nominations and otherwise as an independent candidate. In such an event, the choice of symbols in the nomination paper with 10 proposals first delivered to the returning officer by that candidate or on his behalf only will be considered whether that nomination paper is accepted or rejected during scrutiny. If a candidate has filed one nomination paper with both Part 1 and 2 and he fails to bring Form A and B from the concerned political party, the nomination paper may be accepted if Part 2 is properly filled and subscribed by 10 electors as proposers. Such candidate will be considered as an independent candidate. If a candidate who filed his nomination paper as candidate claiming to be set up by an unrecognized political party fails to bring Form A and B, then his nomination paper will be accepted if it is subscribed by 10 electors as proposers and he or she would be deemed to be an independent candidate. Substitution of a candidate. A political party which has given a notice in Form B in favor of a candidate may rescind that notice and may give a revised notice in Form B in favor of another candidate for the constituency, provided that the revised notice in Form B clearly indicating that the earlier notice in Form B has been rescinded reaches the RO of the constituency not later than 3 p.m. on the last date of filing of nominations, and the said revised notice in Form B is signed by the authorized person. Provided further that in case more than one notice in Form B is received by the RO in respect of 2 or more candidates and the political party fails to indicate in such notices in Form B that the earlier notice or notices in Form B has or have been rescinded, the RO shall accept the notice in Form B in respect of the candidate whose nomination paper was first delivered to him, and the remaining candidate or candidates in respect of whom also notice or notices in Form B has or have been received by him shall not be treated as candidate set up by such political party. Provided that the said substitute candidate has made a declaration in his nomination paper that he has been set up by that party at the election. The nomination paper of a substitute candidate of a recognized political party signed by only one proposal will be rejected if the nomination paper of the main approved candidate of that recognized political party is accepted. However, if such substitute candidate has also filled Part 2 of the nomination paper with 10 proposers or filled another nomination paper with 10 proposers, his nomination paper will be scrutinized independently by treating the candidate as an independent candidate. Further, if the nomination paper of the main approved candidate of the party is rejected, then the substitute candidate will be treated as the candidate of the party, provided that the party has already intimated his name as a substitute candidate in Form A and B filed before 3 p.m. on the last date for making of nominations, and also the said substitute candidate has made a declaration in his nomination paper that he or she has been set up by the party at the election. In this video, we have learned about the Form A and Form B which are used by the political parties regarding the authorized candidate of the party. If you have any doubt or want any clarification, then you can contact through the mail as shown on the screen. For other videos on rules and regulations, you can visit the web address as shown. Thank you.